All right. Hello, everybody. Um, Thank you for the like there and share. Hopefully, we can get some more people in here. I'm the only one here for the moment, so I guess we'll be waiting around to see who else shows up. Hopefully, get here soon. Um, we do have quite a few things to go over tonight. So, hey, Woody, how you doing, my friend? Hey, 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 hey! What happened to you last night? We missed you. And then the counter goes down to one again. Oh boy. Well, at least I'm. Now we're back up to two. So, Woody, were you tired or something last night? Because I noticed you didn't drop in last night, so just wondering. Girlfriend showed up from out of town a day early. Oh, okay. I get that now. Well, I hope you had fun. Hope you had fun with her. Excuse me a moment. I gotta go off camera for just a quick moment. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back here. Let's see. Oh yeah, steak and shrimp dinner. The works. Yeah, yeah. It's usually always a good date. Good time to have a meal together and get some good conversation in and all that. Yeah. And so as I said, we're just waiting on some more people to. And don't forget, Woody, to make sure you're here Friday night because I've got two major announcements that I'll be dropping on Friday night in regards to the show here and the future of it. Um, So hopefully you'll be here for Friday as well. Of course, for the historical comic retrospect as well. But also, as I said, I've got two major announcements. So, anyways, so did you all do anything today, or did she have to leave right away? We played house. That's always a fun game when you're a couple, huh? What do you get some much needed house cleaning done? Exactly. Hold on a sec. I gotta step away from the computer. Chloe's barking again. Right, I'm back, and I guess Woody's gone. Oh boy, Woody, you still there? I just had to step away to go do a close. Now it says I got 0 people watching. I really hate this counter. Anyways, so we're up to 8.5 minutes now. Um, hey, Woody, you still there? Haven't fallen asleep on me or anything like that, have you? La dee dee da dee da, la dee dee da dee da. Hmm. We have 2 people there now. Okay. Woody, you back with me? Well, at least there's 2 of us now here, so I guess I can kind of go over what we're gonna go over tonight, and then get to the story. So, I've got 8 stories planned to go through. Raw. All right, so couple from Critical Blast, and then like 6 from CBR. The 2 from Critical Blast are comic related, and then the 6 from CBR are anime related. Among those include a couple of comic reviews from Stu Moran, who I believe is goes by the name Story Rage on YouTube. I think he's couple of comics that he's reviewing, Strangeville and Creepsters. Um, and then on the anime side of it, we'll be looking at how to get started on the classic Yu-Gi-Oh franchise. Let's see, there's some announcements from Funimation and some other announcements on releases for November 2021. Some trailers. We'll go through all that. So now we're coming up on 11 minutes. So why don't we go ahead and get started on all that then? Yeah. Let's go ahead and get started on the news. I just seen somebody there. Oh no, that's still Woody. Okay. For a moment, I thought somebody else's icon had shown avatar had shown up there. Huh. All right, so here's the first news story we're gonna go through today. First article we're gonna go through today here. Go trick or treating in Strangeville this Halloween. Article by Stu Moran, published today at 10:41 in the morning. So, horror weed, Nixon and Hogan's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, this looks like some kind of Ouija board setup. Halloween horror weed. Anyway, so let's take a look here. Kevin Strange, the creator of Strangeville and director of many quote unquote classic independent films, such as Cockhammer and the Nixon and Hogan film series, brings to Indiegogo the newest installment to his comic library. Nixon and Hogan's Horrorweed Halloween, just in time for the spooky holiday, which of course is coming up this Sunday. Um, this Sunday. So, hey Woody, do you think you'll be doing? You think you'll be handing out candy this year? Oh. Anyways, if you are familiar with Kevin's movies, imagine Trailer Park Boys, written by 1990s Kevin Smith, produced by the Insane Clown Posse, then directed by Lloyd Kaufman, and that will give you some idea of the madness and degeneracy you will subject yourself to. Yeah, I don't know who Lloyd Kaufman is, but I am aware the other two 1990s Kevin Smith. That was when Kevin Smith was still considered good, not the Kevin Smith of today, the woke BSer. No, the the Kevin Smith of yesterday when he was probably considered good. An Insane Clown Posse. I mean, I know a little bit about Insane Clown Posse considering their appearances in WCW. Um, Hello everybody, and I hope you guys will enjoy the content here. Let's see. So, moving on to the next paragraph here. Filled with sex, violence, gore, drug use, and homegrown comedy, Kevin and his team at Hack Movies have built a small, freaky empire of movies and comics that are the kind your mother warned you about as a child. Ooh. Kevin's fifth and most recent campaign, Nixon and Hogan's Horrorweed Halloween, is a return to his most popular characters and the wacky misadventures fans of his work have come to love and expect from him. If you are a first timer to seeing the depravity that lies inside Kevin's mind, reading one of his comics or watching one of his films for the first time may put you off due to the sex and drugs fueled dialogue that abounds inside them. The way they're describing it here, I'm almost reminded of Beavis and Butthead. Quite honestly, I almost get more of the Beavis and Butthead feel from this than anything else. I don't know about anybody else here or anybody else who might be hearing this on the replay, but based on this description, I'm kind of thinking it sounds a little more Beavis and Butthead to me, but that's just my opinion. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. But you just want, but if you just want to laugh and can get past the low budget look of his projects and see them for what they really are, then you will heartedly enjoy yourself. And then the links to the campaigns are here in the article here. Then head over to his website to see the rabbit hole of monstrosities. So there you go. So there's that one. Let's see. So you guys have any thoughts on that article? But if you're still here, I don't know if you heard any of that article. Do you have any thoughts on it or anything you want to say about it? Hmm. Oh, no thoughts. Good to see you back there. Um, all right, so we'll move on to the next article then, as soon as I get myself straightened out here. Which way to go? All right, so that's one of two articles from Drowning in the Comments that we're doing. And here's the other one. also by Stu Moran. I believe this is the real name of the guy who goes by the name Soy Rage. If you know, if you've been on some of RJ's streams, you probably heard a little bit about Soy Rage. All right, Creepsters. How can something this cuddly be so deadly? Hmm. Wonder what that one's all about. I actually know that RJ did a stream about this yesterday with Story Rage. He was heavily promoting it. So here we go. Article by Stu Moran, published at 1816, which would be probably be 616. I'm thinking maybe on the way on the east because or maybe local time was central, which could be 516 because this is already up and it wasn't even 6 o'clock yet here when I saw it. So, anyways, here we go with the article here. Soy Rage was very funny presenting Nasser's newest book. Yeah, he was. He's always funny. Like his character is funny. It's like that he plays up kind of the Urkel esque nerd character type, real nasally kind of voice, but he's good at that. So, anyways, in fact, this book probably is the one that you're talking about. So let's go ahead and read this article. Creepsters is the eighth and newest campaign from writer Nasser Rabadi to be added to his ever growing library of horror themed novels and comics. Arguably his best work to date, Nasser assembled a creepy team of designers, artists, and toy companies. Yes, that's right, an actual toy company, to produce his idea and make it a reality. Synopsis: while digging for buried treasure on Perdita Cove Beach, 12-year-old Max discovers a mysterious creature he names Chomper, whose friendship will lead him into a world of danger, adventure, and heroism. When Chomper's siblings wreak havoc in Max's seaside town, only Max and his new friend can save his sister Emma and the town by combining forces to fight the sinister creepsters that wash up on the beach after an alien object splashes down into the ocean. I guess, granted, they're probably not as gigantic, but you kind of get the kaiju, kind of the Godzilla King Kong feel to this. uh, Kind of the kaiju feel to this. It's, just not as big, just not as large scale monsters as kaiju though. Creepsters is a loving tribute to 1980s high concept, low budget comedy horror. Kind of like the last story we read. A fast paced story filled with romance, gore, fantasy, and a touch of science fiction. This is a blood soaked adventure which ultimately proves that family and friendship can overcome any obstacle. Nasser has filled this campaign with so many things to make it more than just a comic. You will be filled with nostalgia as it harkens back to the simpler times of our childhood when we saw movies like Critters, Gremlins, and Ghoulies. Films with that splash of adventure that made you want to run to your local Toys R Us and buy the action figures of the characters that you saw on screen. Well, that was 80s television all over the place. That wasn't just with the Halloween stuff, that was with just about everything. Even though the FCC had been trying to crack down on the idea of making half hour. Oh wow, we have 4 people in here. Yay! Four. Now we're back down to 3. Anyways, I hope everybody is enjoying the content thus far. We're just going over some reviews here, and then glad to see people coming in to watch. Though I'm happy for that. Let's see. Hopefully you enjoy the content as you lurk about. Anyways, getting back to the article here. Speaking of toys, Rabadi delivers them too. Chomper is the first of the creepsters to get his very own plushie. Well, I just hope that plushie doesn't chomp it. The people who buy it. Yes, you can read the adventures of Max and Chomper, while he sits by your side, protecting you from the other evil creepsters lurking in the dark. Speaking of which, never be afraid of the dark again, because this campaign also has a Creepsters branded double XL glow in the dark wristband included with the one of everything tier, or available as an add on, as is the plushie. Other things available in the campaign are a 16-page ash can. As I understand, an ash can is a type of comic where basically there's like no color; it's just all black and white. It's just like basically, I think it's just a sketch piece, as I understand what ash cans are. If I understand that correctly, that tells a story um, of the creepster named Fangs. Chomper stick pins, Chomper stick pins, 2 trading cards unlocked so far, and the next potential goal for the campaign, a piece of pirate treasure, just like Max digs up in the book. With covers by John Dillard and Chris Madd, you can choose your preference for the PG-13 version or the bloody rated R version. Also, if you like a mystery, there is a third variant painted cover that has not been revealed at this time. The plushie Chomper has already been in production throughout this past summer in order for Rabadi and the team to be able to ship the little buggers to you as soon as the campaign ends. You will have to wait until next year to get the book, but don't worry, Chomper will keep you company until then. Check out Creepsters here only on Indiegogo, and then there's the link there. Also, check out RJ interviewing Nasser's business and life partner, Soy Rage, as they go through the ins and outs of the entire campaign. And Woody, I know you saw that, so um, there we go. So we're done with those 2 articles. Let's see. Uh, Would anybody have any additional thoughts you guys want to add on to what we just read? As I prepare to move on to the next article here. So that I can remember what I was trying to remember. Let's see. Any thoughts on the previous article before I start? Before I move on to the next article here. Once, twice, 3 times, lady. All right. Let's see. Oh, we got three people in there. Hello. I got nothing. All right. Well, looks like we have a third person back, so that's cool. Hello, third person. I hope you'll enjoy the content as we move forward with the next article here. Okay, and as always, if you haven't already, if you can like and share the stream, see if we can get some more people here, that would be appreciated. Let's see. We got some lurkers here tonight, which is cool. I hope you guys are enjoying the content. Yu-Gi-Oh! How to get started with the classic franchise. Since the original series, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Manga and anime have spun off into several different forms. Article by Timothy Donahue, published 13 hours ago. So you see Yugi right there. You see Seto to his left, our right, and then I think that you say Fudo from the 5D series to his either that or the newest character they introduced. All right. So, anyways, here we go. Part of the early 2000s boom of anime with multimedia tie-ins, Yu-Gi-Oh is most well known for its still immensely popular trading card game. The duels that this game inspired still rage on to this day, but so too do the original anime and manga franchise. Um, these were actually the first form of the franchise, with the Duel Monsters card game coming a bit later. Since the original series, the Yu-Gi-Oh manga and subsequent anime have spun off into several different forms, making it quite a daunting task to get into. Um, Here's a look at all the different anime and manga versions of Yu-Gi-Oh over the years and where fans can read and watch them. The plot of Yu-Gi-Oh. See Yugi and Yu-Gi-Oh. Yeah, you see Yugi and Yami right there. The story of the Yu-Gi-Oh franchise initially tells the story of a young student named Yugi Muto. Um, hence the series name. A rather put upon lad, he passes the time indulging in various games and puzzles, many of which are supplied by his grandfather. One of these is the mysterious Millennium Puzzle, which, when activated, causes Yugi to become possessed by the spirit of a game loving ancient Egyptian pharaoh. There's another anime like that too, aside from Yu Gi Oh! Hikaru no Go is another one like that, where you got like a spirit of the past who kind of possesses the protagonist. So, called Yami Yugi or Dark Yugi, this persona challenges evildoers to various shadow games, eventually punishing their dark deeds with penalty games. These are initially incredibly dark and gruesome, with one school bully being literally charred on a giant table hockey platform and grilled. Oh boy. Um, as the series continues, the Duel Monsters Magic and Wizards card game is introduced into the narrative. From there, it overtakes the series premise, leaving the franchise forever tied to the cards. Yeah. What they're basically talking about is going from Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 0 to Season 1 is what they're talking about. Because Season 0 is more what they were talking about when he was taking over, when he was, first. So, anyways. After the original series, there were 6 spin off sequels, one of which is still currently running. These, again, focused on the card game, with the franchise's broader focus on shadow games as a whole largely discarded since the first series. Yeah, you did still see, you know, from the first season of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters, you did still see still see Shadow. I'm talking about like in the first season when with like the duel tournaments and all that. So, where to read the Yu-Gi-Oh! Manga? Here are some of the skills of it. The franchise started in 1996 with a manga by Kazuki Takahashi, um, which was initially meant to be something of a horror series. As mentioned, the initial manga stories reflect this, but the horror elements are greatly downplayed once the card game is introduced. This original manga lasted for 38 volumes, later being briefly replaced with the 5-volume Yu Gi Oh! R. The 6 anime sequels received manga adaptations as well, although none lasted nearly as long as the original. Bucking the trend slightly was Yu Gi Oh! Zexal, which had a manga before the anime, and Yu Gi Oh! Brains, um, which had no manga adaptation. So Brains was technically an original anime then, not based on. I mean, you could even make the argument that Brain, since it didn't come from the manga, could be considered an OVA altogether. See if you guys are saying anything this far. No, I guess not. Back down to 2 people. Well, hopefully we'll get some more people coming back. All right, so the manga are all available digitally through Comixology, with the exception of the current series Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens. This is due to that series 2 manga having not been localized yet. And that one's probably a fairly recent one, so it's going to probably take a while for them to get it up and running, get it serialized, so or localized. Likewise, Amazon and Rights of Anime, as well as physical book retailers like Barnes and Noble and Books A Million, have all of the series localized so far. Where to watch the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime? And there's Jade and Yuki from the GX series. Yu-Gi-Oh! Was first adapted into an anime in 1998 with this 27 episode series adapting the early non-card game focused stories of the manga. Dubbed as Season 0 by fans, the less marketable nature of this series, namely its lack of focusing on the later card game, is likely why it's never been localized and made available to the masses in the West, either physically or digitally. Which is true. Which is true. If you want to watch it, the only way you can watch it is probably subbed, or just listen to the original Japanese. The original series, however, is very easy to go back and watch it, as it's available on Netflix, Hulu, Tubi TV, Pluto, Crunchyroll, IMDb TV / Amazon, and the official Yu-Gi-Oh! Website. The latter also has the shows up to Zexal. Meanwhile, Arc V and Vrains can also be watched subbed through VRV, Amazon, Hulu, Sling, and Amazon. Okay, they put Amazon in there twice. Although Sevens anime has yet to be localized in any way either. With almost all of the franchise widely available on most streaming platforms, including the free ones, it's incredibly easy to sit back, relax, and duel. It's time to duel. So there we go with that one. So, before I move on to the next story, is anything you guys want to comment on in regards to the to that article? Anything you guys want to say about anything you guys want to say about Yu-Gi-Oh or the article or anything of that nature? Huh. And I got the three dots from Woody, so I guess nobody's got anything to say. Okay, we'll move on to the next article then. All right, so Wonder Egg Priority Studio reveals new series Tokyo 24th Ward. Cloverworks announces its original anime series Tokyo 24th Ward with a brand new trailer and teases a release window of early next year. Article by Haley McCullough, published 13 hours ago. Here's the look of it right here. The Cloverworks, the animation studio behind Wonder Egg Priority and The Promised Neverland, has announced its new original anime series, Tokyo 24th Ward, known in Japan as Tokyo 24-ku, which is set to premiere next year. Now, Ward, I believe, like Ward is like in Japan, instead of like in terms of quote like cities, neighborhoods, and all that, they have like wards and prefectures. I think that's kind of the thing there. A new trailer has been released to give viewers a preview of what the story has to offer. Teasing the main three characters and the story's setting, Tokyo 24th Ward takes place on an artificial island that floats above Tokyo Bay. Kyokuto Horegai Togubetsu Chiku, Far East Special District outside of the law, nicknamed the 24th Ward. The story follows three friends, Ranakagi, Koki Suido, and Shuta Aoi, who, despite their differences, always hang out. After an incident dramatically changes their relationship, the three young men each try to protect the residents of the 24th Ward in their own way. And I guess all right. Well, anyways, before I continue on, I have to step. Hey, Intense Webs. Hello. Hello. Finally catching a show. Well, thank you for dropping in, Intense Webs. I hope you're enjoying the content thus far. If you haven't already, if you can like and share the stream so we can get some more people in here, that'd be appreciated. Anyways, I hope, as I said, we actually hit the comic stories earlier. Howdy. Okay. Um, we went over a couple of articles from the Critical Blast site, including, of course, one about the Creepsters release the story range. Anyways, I got to step away from the computer for a moment or two. I'll be right back. Stick around. Maybe you two can talk amongst each other while I go do something real quick. I'll be right back. All right. Anyways, had to go grab some water real quick. Throat was getting a little strained there, but anyways, thank you again for dropping in, Tens Webs and everybody else who's here. Anyways, back to the article here. Um, we're looking over some anime stuff. Um, Now Katsu Suda from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Golden Wind, and Black Butler is directing the new series at Cloverworks, with Vio Shimokura making their anime industry debut as the show's primary writer. The creative team also includes Chuji Sogabe, Persona 3, the movie, Number 1, Spring of Birth, Kanako Nono, Prince of Stride Alternative, and Takahiro Kishida, That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, Naruto the movie, Guardians of the Crescent Moon Kingdom, as character designers, and Hideyuki Fukasawa from Fate Grand Order, the movie, Divine Realm of the Round Table, Camelot, Street Fighter 4, The Tides That Bind as music composer. So far, 3 members of the voice cast have been confirmed. Junya Imoki, Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba, the movie Mugen Train, Komi Can't Communicate, is voicing Shuta. Kaito Ishikawa of Sleepy Princess and the Demon Castle, The Rising of the Shield Hero, voices Koki and Yuma Uchida. It's voices Koki and Yuma Uchida. Orient, Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai, playing Ron. And in Japanese, Ran is Ron, whereas here in the States, it's Ron. So, Tokyo 24th Ward is one of several new anime that are currently scheduled to debut in 2022. Other new anime series already confirmed for the new year include The Executioner and Her Way of Life, Love After World Domination, Mobile Suit Gundam, The Witch from Mercury, The Greatest Demon Lord is reborn as a typical nobody. I like some of these newer titles. Some of these more expansive titles they've been coming out with the last few years here for these animes. No more of those one or two word anime titles. Just let's give them a whole sentence, whole statement in a title. That's kind of funny. The Genius Princess Guide to Raising a Nation Out of Debt, Girls Frontline, and Sayuki Reload Zeroin. Um, 2022 will also see Sayuki Reload Zeroin is part of the Sayuki franchise, of course. 2022 will also see the return of multiple fan favorite anime like the case study of Vanitas, Ascendance of a Bookworm. Is it wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon? With Uzaki-chan, and Uzaki-chan wants to hang out. And of course, we all know about Uzaki-chan. That one was really getting a lot of hype last year. Tokyo 24th Ward is set for release sometime in January 2022. Currently, it is unknown what channel the anime will premiere on in Japan and if the series will receive an international release. It's still pretty early on, though, so it's going to depend on how popular it is in Japan. In Japan, obviously. Now, granted, sometimes there are series in Japan that are sometimes series in Japan that don't do as well. But the one notable one that comes to mind is Ghost Stories, where that one didn't do as well in Japan. But then when ADV got the license to it, Japan, the Japanese just said, just do whatever you want with it, and it ended up becoming a cult classic. So I intense webs. All right, so anyways, you guys want to make any remarks on this one? Let's see. Any any comments for this article, or shall I just go ahead and move on? Wow, we're down to one viewer, and this counter's going screwy on me again. Now it's saying that. Oh, now we're back up to three. All right. Well, if nobody's got anything to say, I guess I'll just move on to the next article then. All right. So here we go. Oh, here we go. There's the next one we'll hit. Demon Slayer Platinum End headline. Uh, Demon Slayer Platinum End headline Funimation's fall lineup. Funimation releases a new trailer for the streaming service's new lineup, which includes shows such as Demon Slayer, Platinum End, and more. Article by Michael Lacerna, published 11 hours ago. If you can't decide what to watch lately, Funimation has a few suggestions. The anime streaming and distribution company released a new quote unquote sizzle reel trailer that showcases all of the new anime that will soon premiere or is already available on its service this season. The streamer's lineup is headlined by the return of the incredibly popular Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba anime and the latest supernatural thriller from the creators of Death Note, Platinum End. In addition to those darker series, the trailer also highlights some of the lighter fare on the service, including the new workplace romantic comedy, My Senpai is Annoying. And I've heard a little bit about that. That one sounds interesting. This season also featured the debut of several highly anticipated brand new series, such as the heartfelt Ranking of Kings by Wit Studios and the Heike story, a new historical fantasy series from Science Saru, the studio behind the acclaimed The Night is Short, Walk On Girl. Extremely popular shonen anime Jujutsu Kaisen was recently added to Funimation service as well. Um, the series is an adaptation of Gege Akutami's um, Weekly Shonen Jump manga and was previously a Crunchyroll exclusive. The second seasons of the isekai anime Mushoku Tensei and the Inuyasha sequel series Yasha Hime will also be available on the service. Quote, with so many incredible established brands such as Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation and Yasha Hime returning, as well as exciting new favorites, we're looking forward to a fall season of anime like no other for Funimation, unquote, said Asa Suhira, Chief Content Officer of Funimation Global Group, a press release. Quote, This season is going to be next level for anime globally, and Funimation continues to be the home to welcome fans to our anime community, and there is more to announce in the days ahead. Unquote. Suihira stated. Funimation also highlighted their exclusive titles for the season, which includes the previously mentioned My Senpai is Annoying and The Ranking of Kings, as well as the vampire comedy The Vampire Dies in No Time. The total opposite of that vampire show is the guaranteed to be sad anime Irina Vampire Cosmonaut. A vampire cosmonaut. Oh boy, okay. That sounds interesting. Which is also a Funimation exclusive and tells the story of a vampire girl who is forced to serve as a test pilot for a country's rocket program during an alternate history retelling of the 1960 space race. Oh yeah, I think I did hear a little bit about this, where I guess Russia was recruiting vampires for space travel. The CG animated Tesla Note, the hockey focused slice of life anime Pura Ore Pride of Orange, and a continuation of the Scarlet Nexus video game adaptation will also be streamed exclusively through the service. And there we go with that one. I know many of us are not happy with Funimation due to what they did to Vic. For those of you who know about the Vic Mignogna case, but do you have anything you'd like to add to the conversation here, or shall I move on? I guess this just seems more like a lurking night for people. Not as lively a conversation night, but at least we are kind of breezing through a lot of this stuff. So, want to give you guys a chance to comment if you wanted to comment on the articles. That's why I keep stopping and asking as such. Okay, well, looks like there's nothing new being said, so I guess I'll just go ahead and move on to the next article then. Okay, so here's another announcement of some new releases coming for November of 2021 here. 8 new animated TV shows and movies to watch in November 2021. From Animaniacs to Disney to Blade Runner, there should be plenty of new animation to be thankful for in November 2021. Article by Ruben Barron, published 9 hours ago. Yeah, I did hear there was a new Animaniacs series coming out. Um, Not the same one from the 90s. Some people spend their Thanksgiving watching the Macy's parade and the football game. Others spend the holiday binge watching cartoons. If the latter describes you, the following list of 5 new and returning animated TV series, 2 movies, and 1 half-hour holiday special should be among your prime viewing options for the month of November. Though the entries on this list cover a wide range of art styles and genres, this appears to be a particularly noteworthy month for both computer animation and science fiction dramas, aimed at more mature audiences. Cartoons from America, Japan, and Europe are all represented in this list. There should be plenty of animation to be thankful for. Genlock, Season 2. Yeah. I know that Hiro Hay had some interesting things to say about Season 2. First off, I think a lot of people were not expecting there to be a Season 2. Apparently, it didn't really go over too well, so yet they still pushed it out here. Let's see. Back up to 3 people, so that's... In 2019, Rooster Teeth launched its most ambitious animated series yet, the star-studded computer-animated mecha action series Genlock. Season 1 had its kinks to work out, particularly in regards to its lack of a strong villain, but the show still has plenty of potential to improve. 2 years later, Season 2 will hopefully keep up the first season's thrilling action sequences, while giving the series' likable team of heroes a stronger overall story. Created by Gray Haddock, a former ADV Studios individual, Rooster Teeth Animation's Genlock stars the voices of Michael B. Jordan, Dakota Fanning, Maisie Williams, Koichi Yamadera, uh, Golshifta Farrakani, Asia Kate Dillon, David Tamant, Monica Rial, Blaine Gibson, and Gray Haddock, and Miles Lina, and Chad James. Season 2 premieres on HBO Max November 4th. That's basically like next Thursday, basically. Animaniacs Season 2. Prepare for maximum zaniness. The Warner Brothers and sister, as well as world domination seeking lab mice Pinky and the Brain, are back with 13 new episodes. Season 1 of the new Animaniacs is one of the smarter nostalgia reboots around, preserving the balance of child-friendly absurdity and sharp adult humor that made the original 1993 series a fan favorite. In Season 2 should be as good, if not better. Expect plenty of pop culture parodies, cartoon violence, and hilarious musical numbers. Animaniacs Season 2 stars the voices of Rob Paulson, Tress MacNeille, Jess Harnell, and Maurice LaMarche. Premieres on Hulu November 5th, which is next Friday. Arcane. Whether or not you play League of Legends, the spin-off quote unquote event series Arcane is shaping up to be one of the more interesting looking of Netflix's growing number of video game adaptations. Set in the seemingly utopian city of Piltover and its neighboring underground Zon, this adult oriented action drama centers around the tragic origin stories of sister fighters She and Jinx. Between this and Maya and the Three, Netflix has been really raising the bar visually for CG animated miniseries. Directed by Ash Brannon, Arcane stars the voices of Haley Steinfeld, who I believe was the same girl who voiced She-Ra in the Netflix She-Ra series, one that a lot of people were kind of all over. Ella Purnell, Kevin Alejandro, Katie Long, Jason Spisak, Tox Olagundoye, J.B. Blanc, and Harry Lloyd, and will premiere 3 episodes a week on Netflix for 3 weeks starting November 6th, which is next Saturday. before I get to the next one here, Blade. I've got to go off camera for a moment. I'll be right back. I see we had some more people coming in. Hey Mike, hey Leto, how you doing, man? Sorry I'm running late for work, so I'm lurking. Okay, that's fine. Hopefully you're catching the hello. Hope you're catching the content at least there, Leto. Hello, interweebs or interwebs. Haha. Hail all. Get everyone at once. All right. Anyways, I gotta just go off camera here for a quick moment, guys. I'll be right back. All right. Anyways, I'm back now. All right. So continuing on with the article here, then Blade Runner Black Lotus. If current patterns hold, it seems you can expect Adult Swim and Crunchyroll's anime co-productions to premiere a month after the start of the rest of the anime series. That was the case with the recently concluded first season of Fena Pirate Princess, and it continues with the highly anticipated Blade Runner Black Lotus. Sola Digital Art, the CG animation team behind Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex 2045, is handling this latest incarnation of the classic cyberpunk series. Co-directed by Shinji Aramaki and Kenji Kaneyama, Blade Runner Black Lotus premieres on Adult Swim's Tsunami Block November 13th at midnight Eastern Pacific, and will stream on Crunchyroll at the same time. So basically, it will be replacing Fena. I know Fena this Saturday, the 30th, will be they're gonna have a Fena marathon to finish out the month here of October. So Encanto. See what this one's about. After Raya and the Last Dragon had to do a simultaneous release on Disney Plus, Premiere Access and Pixar's Luca bypassed theaters entirely. Encanto is hoping to make Disney animation into a theatrical event once again. The main character in this Columbia set fantasy, Mirabel Madrigal, is the only member of her family who doesn't have magical powers. But she'll have to save the day anyway when magic is under threat. The movie also features original songs by Hamilton's Lin-Manuel Miranda, directed by Jared Bush, Byron Howard, and Charisse Castro-Smith. Encanto stars the voices of Stephanie Beatriz, John Leguizamo, Maria Cecilia Botero, Diane Guerrero, Jessica Darrow, Angie Cepeda, and Vilmer Valderrama, and arrives in theaters November 24th. So I believe that's the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. That's like the day before Thanksgiving, I believe. Robin. Of the various projects presented as works in progress at this year's Annecy International Animation Film Festival, Aardman Animation's new half-hour Christmas special, Robin Robin, was among the most instantly charming. The hand-felted stop-motion animation from the team behind Wallace and Gromit looks absolutely adorable, and the story about a bird adopted by a family of mice seems primed to inspire emotion in viewers of all ages. Yeah, considering that mice are usually eaten by birds, that's one of the types of meat that they get into. Anyways, directed by Daniel Ojadi and Michael Please, Robin Robin stars the voices of Gillian Anderson of X Files fame, Bronte Carmichael, and Amira Macy Michael, and premieres on Netflix November 24th. Again, the day before Thanksgiving. Summit of the Gods. These things are starting to go a little quicker. Let's see if we got any more people saying anything. No. And of course, we're down. And I do appreciate any and all likes and shares. I thank you guys for that. Seeing if we can get some more people in here. So, anyways, if any international features aside from frontrunners Flea and Belle make it into the Academy Awards Best Animated Feature category, this upcoming award season, the Summit of the Gods seems well positioned as a candidate. Premiering to strong reviews at the Cannes Film Festival, this European adaptation of Jiro Taniguchi's classic manga about climbing Mount Everest looks to be a breathtaking experience. If you can't see it on the big screen, make sure you add it to your Netflix queue. Directed by Patrick Imbert, The Summit of the Gods premieres in theaters on November 24th and on Netflix on November 30th, so 6 days later. Super Crooks, and we did actually read a story on this one as well. So Netflix's line of Miller World adaptations got off to a rough start with the quickly canceled live action series Jupiter's Legacy. Hopefully, the anime Super Crooks, based on the comic by Mark Millar, who we just read about yesterday on RJ's site, he's got a comic coming out, and Lenil Francis Yu, set in the same universe as Jupiter's Legacy, will be more impressive on the action and storytelling front. Studio Bones is animating, and Dai Sato is writing. If you like this team of supervillains anime form, they're set to also receive a live-action series in the future. Directed by Motonobu Ori, Super Crooks premieres on Netflix on November 25th, which happens to be, I believe, that will be Thanksgiving. So, yeah. So there we go with that one. So anybody want to say anything about those releases? Anyone want to comment about those releases? Before I get ready to move on to the next article here. Let's see. All right, let's see. It doesn't look like anybody's commenting as of yet. Again, we're just wondering if you guys wanted to say anything in regards to the previous article. If not, I guess I'll just move on to the next one. Denno Coil director's extraterrestrial boys and girls reveals new trailer. A new trailer has been released for Extraterrestrial Boys and Girls, the first original anime from Denno Coil director Mitsuo Iso in 14 years. Article by Michael Lacerna, published 7 hours ago. Let's get on to this one. A trailer has been released for the new sci-fi anime Extraterrestrial Boys and Girls. The new anime will be premiering in Japan in the first quarter of 2022, with the series being released simultaneously in theaters and on Blu-ray and DVD. The series will be screened in theaters in two parts, the first half premiering on January 28th and the second half arriving on February 11th. Each theatrical release will only be available for 2 weeks. So one kind of writing into the other there. The new series will be the first original anime from director Mitsuo Iso in over 14 years. So that'd be basically back in 2007. Iso is best known as the director of the acclaimed 2007 anime series Denno Coil. That series took place in a near future society where AR, augmented reality, glasses, and programs have become common tools that everyone uses for work, communication, and recreation. The story begins when a young girl named Yasako moves into a new town and begins to investigate mysterious and bizarre occurrences happening throughout the city as the line between the real world and the AR digital world begins to blur. The sci-fi series received an overwhelmingly positive reception upon its release 14 years ago, um, and has since received further recognition for its prescient commentary on the spread of technology, um, such as self-driving cars, cryptocurrency, and other forms of society-altering tech that would emerge in the years after its release. Well, it's kind of funny because some of us who are a little bit older remember the Jetsons and how they try to play that up as well. The Jetsons cartoon here in the States. Anyways, Extraterrestrial Boys and Girls will be directed and written by Iso and will once again see the director examining the relationship between young people and technology. The series takes place in the year 2045, same year as the most recent Ghost in the Shell series, and focuses on a group of children who are accidentally abandoned on an orbiting space station following an accident. Using only their smartphones and their connections to social networks, the children have to figure out a way to survive and safely return home from space. Actually, there was an anime that had a very similar plot. I recall it was called Infinite Revias. Very similar plot there to this. And I think it was back in the 2000s, I think, or maybe even late 90s. Anyways, in addition to Iso, the movie's creative team also features artist Kenichi Yoshida, who previously designed characters for Studio Bones, surfing mecha franchise Eureka 7, as well as Mobile Suit Gundam Reconquista in G. Toshiyuki Inoue, who previously worked on the rebuild of Evangelion series, as well as Ghost in the Shell standalone complex, will serve as a series main animator. The new anime will also have art direction from Yusuke Ikeda, who was also involved in the production of Gurren Lagann. and several entries in the long-running Detective Conan Case Closed franchise. Detective Conan is what they called it in Japan. Case Closed is what they called it here. So here in the States. So a release outside of Japan for extraterrestrial boys and girls has yet to be announced. Deno Coil is available in a Blu-ray collection from distributor made in Japan. There we go. So let's see if you guys have. If you guys wonder if you guys have anything to say on that one. See if you guys have. As the conversation seemed to have gone a little quiet because people are still just lurking about. I hope everybody's still here, paying attention. Well, we're back up to 2 viewers at least. Now we're 19. So let's see. I think I got one more story to go there. This one right here, probably the last one I was gonna do. Let's see. Hey, Bat Goat. What's up, bro daddies? Yeah, we're all actually almost done with all the stories. I know you were out doing your weekly trivia game, so um, thank you for being here. Just got back from trivia. Not a good night. Oof. You know you're gonna have them once in a while, there, my friend. As always, if you can like and share the stream, that would be appreciated. See if we can get some more people in here. Um, so, anyways, as always, I do appreciate any and all likes and shares. Helps get the algorithm up. Um, yeah. So, anyways, um, anybody want to comment on the previous article, or shall I just go on? All right. As no one, I guess, has any comments to make, I will move on to the final article of the main article of the night we're covering. Manben, one mangaka's exploration of their working field. A mangaka is basically just a manga artist. That's a Japanese word for manga artist, so or comic artist. So, anyways, manga legend Naoki Urasawa delves into the working lives of mangaka in Manben, a docu-series following big-name manga creators. Article by Molly Kishikawa, published 3 hours ago. Here we go. At some point in their life, most dedicated anime and manga fans have said, quote, I'm going to move to Japan and become a mangaka, unquote. But what exactly does being a mangaka mean? Literally speaking, it means quote unquote comic artist or cartoonist. Um, but one veteran sought to delve deeper into what it truly means to create manga in an ever changing society. And of course, there's also an anime that's dedicated to that too called Bakuman. You know, even though it's run for 3 seasons of 25 episodes each, only 7 were actually dubbed into English as it just didn't prove popular enough to continue the series, unfortunately. So, anyways, so Naoki Urasawa, creator of the hit series Monster, paired up with broadcasting company NHK in 2014 to film and interview various artists from a variety of manga genres as they worked on their current projects. The TV show called Naoki Urasawa's Manben began with a quote unquote season zero that was only 2 episodes long. The very first episode of the series details how the still cameras will be set up so that they don't hinder the artist's drawing. Urasawa tests this out himself, working on a page of his manga to make sure everything looks just right from every angle, and uses the product to pitch the idea to his contemporaries. He also explains his reason for wanting to start the docuseries to begin with, and the way he speaks about his craft comes from a place of love. Quote, people read over it with such incredible speed, and that's what we want. But there's so much work put into it. If they could spend just a bit of time on that, then wouldn't they get even more fun out of reading manga? Unquote. Look at that artwork. The very first artist Urasawa interviews is Kaiji Kawaguchi, a veteran in the industry who debuted in 1968. Wow, he's got to be up there. 68. That's 53 years ago. The guy's got to be at least in his 70s. That's 53 years ago. He and Urasawa discuss how, back in the early days, it was uncommon for a full face view to be drawn straight on. The two go back and forth about how difficult it is to draw a nose from the front in a manga style that looks coherent. Let's see. Since then, mangaka have found their own ways of drawing them, and it seems like such a minor inconvenience, but the discussion allows the viewer to get a glimpse of what the common practices of the time were, which is always a good thing to see. This is the format that the series follows for the next 5 seasons. Since its start, the show has shown viewers what working is like for some of the biggest names in the industry. Season 1 welcomed Princess Jellyfish creator Akiko Higashimura, who works in a fast paced environment with several assistants. Asano Inio of Oya Sumi Poon Poon fame, um, who also appeared, who would also appear, speaking on how he combines his highly detailed hand drawn work with photography and digital drawing. Each season would feature 4 mangaka, some of whom had no problem appearing on TV, while others have a caricature placed over their face, and the still cameras only focus on their hands. One of the most famous guests to appear would be Junji Ito in season 4. Unlike some of the other artists that are interviewed, Ito works alone, mostly at a desk. We've seen Ito, I think he passed away recently, if I remember correctly. They did a whole tribute on him, in fact. Mostly at a desk under a loft bed. Sometimes um, he'll ask his neighbors to help him with the finishing touches if he's on a time crunch. He works on Layers of Fear, a story about a girl who regresses in age as layers of skin are removed from her body. It turns out that um, Ito also has the strange habit of sticking a kneaded eraser to his finger while working. Hmm. Interesting. And that manga sounds interesting too. Um, the last official episode for this iteration of Manben would air in 2017. However, this was not the end of the series, as in 2020 it would return under a new title, Naoki Urasawa's Manben Neo, or New Mob. Neo is means Neo, of course. New Manben. Um, The new series would run for 9 episodes and feature the likes of legendary Chiba Tetsuya, Ashita no Joe, and Mobile Suit Gundam animator turned mangaka Yasuhiko Yoshikazu. Unfortunately, there is no official way to watch the series outside of Japan. It doesn't even appear on NHK World. Hopefully, in the future, the entire series will be officially available for all manga fans to enjoy and appreciate. What they mean by officially, of course, is non-torrent. That's what they mean by that, I believe. Anyways, that's all for that. It's basically we're done with the main articles for tonight, and we're making good time too at hour 30. And they, of course, the counter's being a little screwy again. Now it's time to attack the toilet again. This will be try number 3 to get the tank to seat to the bowl correctly. Oof. Yeah, sounds fun, Batgoat. Hey, Batgoat. Leto. I'm lurking today since late for work. Okay. Yeah. So, anyways, and Toys didn't join us tonight. He probably had to get up early for work himself. Anyway, so I think I made good time tonight. We're at hour 31 here. Is there anything anybody would like to say or comment on, either on the stories that we covered or anything else? If nobody's got anything to add to the conversation or want to say anything or ask anything, we can start to wrap up here, and I can and we can get to this day in each history. Um, Tense Webs, Batgoat, Woody, Leto. You got anybody have anything you want to ask or talk about? And I said, if not, we can just move on. We can start to close everything out and get ready to wrap things up here. And again, I do, of course, appreciate any and all the likes and shares I got tonight. I know people were probably lurking tonight. I hope for those of you who were lurking tonight, you enjoyed the content. Um, um, One last thing, I just got my Conair 1875 Pro dryer in the mail today. The mutton stash will be glorious on Friday. All right. Well, with that, good, Batgoat. I'm glad you got that. Glad for you that you got that. All right. So I think with that, we'll start to wrap up here. Again, don't forget, of course, Friday is our historical comics retrospect. This week we'll be starting. This week of course, we'll be starting our July of 1938 coverage with DC. We'll be reading through, of course, We'll be reading selections from Action Comics number 3 and Detective Comics number 18. Batgoat, of course, will be joining me this week. Let me see. And also, don't forget, I have 2 major announcements to make on Friday as well. in regards to the future of the mic stand. So I hope to see everybody there. So with that, I think it's a good time to start wrapping up, and I think we will get right into this day in Nietzsche history. Today being Wednesday, October 27th, 2021. Let's take a look back at this day in Nietzsche history. I know everybody's going to say, history! I did. Okay. All right. So, anyways, let's get to this then. All right. So, our first stop is going to be going back to 1941. Woo woo, history. All right. So, anyways, our first stop is we're going to go back 80 years ago today. As on this date, 80 years ago today, the 20th issue of Blue Ribbon Comics went on sale on this date from what we know today as Archie Comics. At the time, it was known as MLJ Magazines Incorporated. So on this date, 80 years ago today, the 20th issue of Blue Ribbon Comics went on sale on this date. It was what you might call one of Archie's superhero anthologies, as as we were in the dawn of the superhero age of comics. Among the features among those superheroes that were featured in this company included Captain Flag, Fox, Corporal Collins, Tigor, Mr. Justice, Loop Logan, Orangutan. So so on this date 80 years ago, and it was of course 10 cents for 64 pages as well. So on this date 80 years ago today, the 20th issue of Blue Ribbon Comics from MLJ Magazines Incorporated, known today as Archie Comics, went on sale on this date. There we go with that one. Now our next stop on the trail of history here. We head back 30 years ago today. As on this date, 30 years ago today, from the UTC Arena in Chattanooga, Tennessee, WCW's Halloween Havoc went on. Was the event that went on there in Chattanooga, Tennessee. The main event saw Lex Luger, led to the ring by Harley Race, defeat Ron Simmons, who had Dusty Rhodes in his corner. He defeated Ron Simmons in a 2 out of 3 falls match to retain the WCW World Heavyweight Championship at 1859. Simmons getting the pin on Flair in the first fall, Simmons getting the pin on Luger in the first fall. And then then Simmons got disqualified for throwing Luger over the top rope. Now, you have to remember, too, and I know Woody would know this, at the time, throwing your opponent over the top rope was an instant disqualification. And, of course, this was also an advent, of course, of the WCW president at the time, Bill Watts. And then Luger would pin Simmons with a pile driver, a move that, of course, one of the moves that Harley Race had in his arsenal. Also on the night, you saw the Enforcers of Arn Anderson and Larry Zbyszko defeat the WCW Patriots, Todd Champion and Firebreaker Chip, to retain the WCW World Tag Team Championship. You had the WCW Halloween Phantom defeating Tom Zink in a minute 27. The Phantom was, of course, eventually revealed to be Rick Rude, which this led to the start of the Dangerous Alliance, as Paulie Dangerously would eventually sign Rude and then start, and then, of course, you'd have the Enforcers, Beautiful Bobby Eaton and Steve Austin, all joining the Dangerous Alliance, which would lead into, let's say, Brian Pillman defeated Richard Morton to win the WCW Light Heavyweight Championship, Flying Brian there. Also on the night, you saw Steve Austin We saw Steve Austin defend the WCW World Television title, which led to a time limit draw with Dustin Rhodes. So you saw Bobby Eaton defeat Terrence, as still had the York Foundation going. Johnny B. Bad defeating Jimmy Jam Garvin of the Fabulous Freebirds. And then to open up the night, El Gigante, who we talked about yesterday with the Acromegaly on RJ stream. Sting and the Steiner brothers defeated Abdullah the Butcher, the Diamond Stud, Cactus Jack, and Big Van Vader in a Chamber of Horrors match. So on this date, 30 years ago, the WCW held its Halloween Havoc at the UTC Arena. So, anyways, now moving on to the final piece of me. And I think everybody is still here. I hope everybody's still here, even though the counter's reading 0. So now we're going to go to, and this is one of those rare occasions where all the history is from before 2000, still in the 1900s. So on this date in 1996, which is 25 years ago today, the 7th Treehouse of Horror episode from The Simpsons premiered on Fox. It was the first Treehouse of Horror episode to serve as a season premiere. Among the other notable things, it was also used to spoof the 1996 presidential election between Bill Clinton and Bob Dole, with the late Phil Hartman, providing the voice of Bill Clinton for the episode. So on this date, 25 years ago today, in 1996, the 7th Treehouse of Horror episode premiered on this date at that time. So with that, guys, I thank you all for being here. Hope you all stayed till the end, even though the count was being a little screwy. And just to give you guys a heads up, Nick, of course, is going to be streaming in 30 minutes with a locale law update, locale law update day. Russell Greer is great and deserves to win. More Marshall videos, so I'm sure you guys. I would think that Bat Goat and I know more. Hell yeah, Treehouse of Horror. I have a Simpsons Yep. Anyways, guys, thank you guys for being here, and I hope to see everybody back tomorrow night. Hopefully, people can try to get in a little earlier so that you can get more of the stories in. Hear more of the stories. Anyways, I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.